Okay, I'm just going to go over the instructions for the review, which I do want you to go ahead and do before Monday. I'd like us to be able to go over all of this on Monday and just answer any questions and sure things up before moving on, because we really need to move on to our mini research paper to end our year. So, lesson 5, review, prepositions. Underline all the prepositions. So it says prepositions. Listen to your instructions really carefully. It doesn't say prepositional phrases. So you're going to look for the phrases and then identify the preposition. And remember, the preposition can be one word or it can be more than one word. So let's look at number 1 together. She sat in the back of the room next to her best friend. There's actually 3 prepositional phrases and 3 prepositions in this sentence, okay? So what's your subject? She. What'd she do? She sat. Now look at the rest of your sentence. The rest of your sentence is prepositional phrases in this instance. So in the back, in is your preposition, and that's what you're going to underline. Of the room, of is your preposition, that's what you're going to underline. Next to her best friend. Next to is your preposition. So this is a double word preposition. Next to her best friend. Okay? So finish those for 1 through 10. The following 1 through 10 on the bottom of the page, you are going to be adding in prepositional phrases. Okay? So the airplane flew over the moon. Well, it didn't. Probably airplanes don't fly over the moon, but if you want to put in something silly like that, you're welcome to. Just make sure that you don't put something in that's not a prepositional phrase. The airplane flew to San Francisco, California. Anything you want to. Be creative, but be appropriate. So you're going to add prepositional phrases down at the bottom of that page, and then a positive review. Turn the page, the next page, lesson number 5, review again, but a positives. You're going to combine the following pairs of sentence using a noun as a positive. So example, Mr. Benson is my science teacher. He is an excellent lecturer. Okay, so these are 2 complete sentences. It's fine to write it that way, but it sounds kind of boring. So let's be a little more sophisticated and put these different ideas that go together really well. Let's put them together in an interesting way. So instead of saying, Mr. Benson is my science teacher and he is an excellent teacher, that's kind of 5th grade. Let's move on from there, right? So Mr. Benson, my science teacher, is an excellent lecturer. Or Mr. Benson, an excellent lecturer, is my science teacher. You could do it either way, but we're going to use in a positive. And again, in this instance, I don't want you to go with the who which. And again, who whiches are perfectly fine. You've been required to use them. I'm just asking you to try it a little bit differently, because you could say, Mr. Benson, who is my science teacher, is an excellent lecturer, but it's really not necessary. So let's try it differently when we do these next 1 through 5, okay? So let's look at the first one together. The boy in the red tracksuit is Ben. He is the fastest runner on the cross-country team. There's lots of ways that you could put this together. Think it through for a minute. The way I would do it, I would say Ben, comma, the boy in the red tracksuit, comma, is the fastest runner on the cross-country team. That's the way that I would put it together. I would do the positive, the boy in the red tracksuit. And that's clarifying who Ben is. Ben, comma, the boy in the red tracksuit, comma, is the fastest runner on the cross-country team. So you'll notice you're not going to use all the words that are in these sentences. You're going to combine these ideas, and you're going to combine every idea that's there. Don't leave something out. Don't leave the fact that it's a red tracksuit. Don't just say Ben, the boy, is, okay? Put all of the information from these sentences into your new one combined sentence, okay? So finish that for 1 through 5. And then in each of the sentences at the bottom, underline the entire appositive phrase, draw an arrow from it to the noun or pronoun that it is further describing. And then you need to add commas where necessary. You can refer back to your previous lesson for those comma rules to understand those a little bit better if you're confused at all. So let's look at number 1 together. Ms. Davis, our math teacher, is currently out sick. Okay? So we need to find the appositive and we need to underline it. Usually an appositive follows a noun or pronoun. So where is it? What's our subject and verb, right? We can find those again too. Ms. Davis is currently out sick. So our math teacher is that appositive phrase. Underline that, draw an arrow from our math teacher back to Miss Davis. And then the question is, do we need commas or not around this appositive? What do you think? You do. Miss Davis, remember it said if the noun or pronoun that the appositive is referring to is a proper noun, you need commas because it's not essential. We know who Miss Davis is. You don't need to know that she's our math teacher in order to understand who she is, or in order to understand which person she is, because it's a proper noun already. We know who that is. So you do need to put commas around this one. Okay, so finish that through number 6 and keep all of this together and bring it in on Monday, and we will go over it and shore up those ideas and then talk about and go on our library field trip on Monday after co-op and move on. We will have a little bit of a quiz on all of this on Wednesday, but hopefully it all makes sense. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me or have your mom contact me. Thanks, guys. Bye.